Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to do my season preview here for the 2025 Cup season, as I do it after the Clash. I was thinking about doing this before the Clash, but I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till after. So there's, I want to talk about some like new pairings and off-season changes that were made. So I just hope this year there's better racing than last year, especially the short tracks and the road courses for the most part. Super speedways are fine, but they're not perfect. But obviously, after a hectic 2024 season based off some of the finishes we got, and a wild off season of changes and some new people going to different rides. So there'll be no changes to the current playoff format in 2025. The same format that has seen Penske win the last 3 titles. So with nearly all of the old guard retired from the full-time Cup Series race, I guess the stage has been set really for the next generation of drivers, because pretty much all the ones we grew up with are retired. So obviously no practice and qualifying format. They had that stupid format last year that was just terrible. It'll have a new identity for this season. Gone are the days of Group A and B qualifying and top 10 shootouts to determine the inside and outside of the grid. It was just terrible. Based on what group you're in, those days are gone besides super speedways. So in 2025, they will return to the single lap qualifying, leaving drivers with 1 shot at pole. Besides on short tracks, every other track is 1 lap, short tracks 2 laps, in which NASCAR will allow two laps, and the starting line will be based solely on lap times rather than which qualifying group you were in. Wow, a simple change. And road courses will have 20 minutes, similar to the previous seasons, except a top 10 shootout is not on the cards anymore. So, yeah. So, in terms of practice, every track will have a 25-minute practice session besides super speedways. So, yeah. So, some of the new full-time drivers in the Cup Series this year, Riley Herbst. I don't think he should have a full-time Cup ride. But Corey Highwood is definitely better, but whatever. He just, I guess, doesn't bring the money like Riley Herbst. So in the aftermath of the lawsuits and charter stuff, he finally has a Cup Series ride, and he brings Monster Energy with him, and they, in 2311, decided to expand with a 3rd Cup car. They wanted a young rookie in Riley Herbst. Should run Corey High, but whatever. Cole Custer is back. He had a brief Cup Series run for like a year or 2. He won a race. So although this time he has an Xfinity Championship to his name, and he'll be driving for Gene Haas. Even though SHR is folded, Custer keeps his time with Haas and will run as the Haas factory team. Obviously they have an alliance with RFK and Ford. We'll see how he does. I think he's a different driver than he was first time he was at basically Haas. I think he's a different driver than the number 41 years past. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and win races like he did in the Xfinity Series, because Cup Series is different. But I don't think he'll run as poorly as he did his first time. Ty Dillon, he'll be in the 10 car. Of all drivers, Ty Dillon. It's going to be make or break season, yeah, sure. Cody Ware's back again full time. Oh yes, because he totally did so well in the full-time seasons. He was in the 51. They were in the bottom 3 of the points list. Yeah, sure, bring back Cody Ware. Besides super speedways, yeah, I don't count on him running top 5 or 10. Outside of super speedways, Shane Van Gisbergen will be the number 88 for Trackhouse. I think he'll make the playoffs. There's so many road courses. I think he'll win at least one or two of them to get in the playoffs. I want to see how he does on the oval tracks. Chase Briscoe in the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. I think it's going to be a big year for Chase Briscoe. Probably the biggest year of his Cup career. I think he has to win some races in that 19. But I mean, you got a wheelman behind the wheel of a really good car. I think he should be able to win. Michael McDowell, 2025 could be a big year for Spire. They brought in Michael McDowell. He's won some poles. Won like 6 poles last year. Most of them were on super speedways. But I think Spire's made some huge gains, and he's more than a super speedway star. Like, he's going road courses, so 2025 I think can be a big year for Spire. Noah Gragson in the 4 car for being in the. I don't know why they done the 4. It's kind of random. So maybe he can win his first race this year, because Ford front row, they're really good at the super speedways. Ryan Priest in the 60 car, third charter for RFK. Ryan Priest, this is the most competitive team he's been on his career. I'm not that high on Ryan Priest like some others are, but I think he'll run it solid. And Ford's really fast on the speedway, so he can sneak and win there. AJ Allmendinger's back. After returning to the Xfinity Series full-time and only racing a partial schedule in 2024, he'll return full-time. So I think he can sneak into the playoffs. Could be one to sneak in as well with a road course, because he's one of the best road course ringers out there. Josh Berry to the 21 for Wood Brothers. Zane Smith to front row. And he drove for Spire. He didn't start well, but but after Nashville, he showed much more pace and speed. So, and he's going to a better team with front row. And lawsuit. Just, it's a battle that started during the 2024 season and really took over as the season concluded with 2311 front row. So they have their charters, I believe. Judge Bale granted the teams their preliminary injunction request to basically summarize the teams would be able to compete in the 2025 season with their current charters and the newly acquired charters from SHR. This lawsuit will continue at a later date, but for this season, both front row cars in 2311 have 3 charters and 3 full-time drivers. Riley Earps and Noah Gragson will have large eyes on them, especially since they are drivers of newly acquired teams. So we'll see how 2311 does. The new TV deal that I wanted to go over as well. They have the new TV deal. So with NASCAR's new TV deal taking effect in 2025, the fans will be in for an adventure trying to watch the Cup Series races. The Xfinity Series remains in the CW, as it did towards the end of last year. And FS1 for the entirety of the truck season. The Cup Series won't be as straightforward. Okay, the first 14 races, the Clash already happened, and including the Clash and the All-Star race. Although those first 14 races will be on Fox or FS1. The next 5 races then will air on Amazon Prime, so you'll have to get Amazon Prime. And then the following 5 will be on TNT and Max, and the final 14 races of the season will air on NBC and USA. So they have so many TV deals: Fox, Amazon Prime, TNT, Max, and then NBC USA. For the 10-race stretch on Prime, obviously the broadcast booth is slated to be Adam Alexander, Dale Jr., Steve Letarte, whatever. For Cup practice and qualifying, the first half of the season will air on Prime, and the second half will air on Max and True TV. Yeah, because everybody has True TV. Some drivers I guess to maybe watch for, maybe for breakout seasons, is Justin Haley. I mean, I think Spire's going to be in an uptick. I don't think they're going to be like, they could be fringe playoffs. I mean, I don't think Haley is that underrated like some people say, but I think he's a solid driver. And obviously pairing him with Rodney Childers, he's had some success at super speedway, but he's improved at like short tracks as well. I mean, Ryan Priest could be another name to watch out for. Ty Gibbs, I mean, I think he can win his first race this year. I mean, he's made constant gains like each season, and he's still young. And Toyota's always strong. I think it's just a matter of time before he wins the race. I mean, hell, Chase and Larson, like 90, however many races, it took a long time for them to win, so. And they have this new waiver rule. One of the bigger storylines of 2025 season will be Larson's second attempt to double. The controversial attempt in 2024 relates to this change, the waiver rule. So, going forward, if a driver receives a waiver for a non-medical issue, a driver will lose all playoff points for regular season. That means Larson will need to leave Indianapolis for the Coke 600. If there's any weather delay, he's going to have to leave for the Coke 600, because if he doesn't race and gets a waiver for a non-medical issue, you lose all your playoff points. So, we'll see. I don't know if that... And it also counts suspensions. Like, if you get suspended... And I think if you get that waiver, you lose all your points. So I just don't hate the waiver thing. Also, you have the open exemption rule, where basically any, driver with like elite credentials, say like for example Helio, I think you have to like tell that to NASCAR, and you like, I don't know, isn't it like 90 days before, and you get that open exemption rule. I think that just reeks of desperation. Trying to get, these elite drivers to come over here to NASCAR. That's kind of just my opinion. I know Denny Hamlin talked about it. People disagree just because it's Denny Hamlin. I hate Denny Hamlin, but he's definitely not a favorite, but he's not wrong. He kind of just does reek of desperation. I know you're trying to get eyes on the sport, but they should have to earn their way in through, like, qualifying. Say, Helio should have to do it for the duels. I like Helio, but just because I like him doesn't mean... he earned a way to get in. But I think he would be fast enough to get in anyways. Like, qualifying. So this isn't from an article I read you here. Some of the drivers that I think will have the most pressure. So I really think Daniel Suarez is going to have big pressure. Besides winning Atlanta last year, he really didn't do nothing. He really hasn't really done much for trackouts. I think it's a big year. I think he's only on a 1-year deal. I think he has a lot of pressure. Kyle Busch is another one. He didn't win last year. I think it's the first time he hadn't won since 2004. So I think he's going to have some pressure. I really think Chase Briscoe's going to have some pressure. And I like Chase Briscoe. I just think he has some big pressure on him because he's going to JGR, really good team. But I think he'll win. If he can win for that mid-ass SHR team at Darlington, I'm sure he can win anywhere with a JGR car. When you have a good wheel man behind a good car, the wheel of a good car, pretty sure he'll win, but I just say he has big pressure because it's a big ride he's jumping into. Does anybody else have some more pressure? I'd say Ryan Preece and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs to get his first win at least. And Ryan Preece, because this is the best ride he's had. And RFK isn't a bad team. They're a good team, so those are some of the drivers I think will have some pressure. But, yeah, that's really all I gotta say here. So, till next time, Malcolm. Peace.